them loading and unloading stuff out of the trucks at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Have you called the, when you hear this or see it, do you call the police?
I mean, I gotta walk up there and see what they're doing.
You know what, if you just
I mean,
hear
it's
it,
just
you don't have to see it. If you think it's suspicious, somebody's unloading something at 1 or 2 in the morning.
Well, but they're
just
always in
call.
and out there at all hours.
That's, you know, that doesn't matter. And for the fact when I say that, by the time you, when you call the police, you know, say, hey, there's a truck up here, who knows that policeman could be up there? He could be down the street, he could pass that car on the way.
Yeah.
If the police don't know that there's an issue there, the police ain't, they're not gonna come by. But if you call just for that, they'll be there.
Okay. Right directly behind there on Washington
Okay?
is a house that's been empty for a long time. There's somebody, and the police have I called one night because I thought the guy was in the back of the little body shop right on the corner.
Okay?
Okay, he's
Yeah.
got the little fenced-in
Yeah.
lot. Metal noises like somebody's digging through the scrap iron, hauling stuff off. And I kept hearing it, and I kept hearing it, and I'm like, man, there's somebody back there. Well, I called the police, they show up, and we go through the whole back lot, there's nobody there. Well, he's in the alley behind there, backed
Okay.
up to that garage.
Okay?
And they're coming in there late at night, around midnight or so.
Okay?
Now, when they checked it out, he was unloading rebar out of his pickup truck. And evidently, he works for a construction company or something, and he's borrowing rebar. He's gonna take it back later when they need it for the job when they're short.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. And he said it was, the police told me that he said it was his cousin's house.
How long ago has that been?
It's been a couple of months, but the other night, now there's a car going back in there at night. And they back up in there, because I can see their lights shining across the parking lot next door to me. And they just set up there for 20, 30
And
minutes.
my advice would be, you see that, call every time.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get, you gotta make it uncomfortable for him. They're, obviously, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock at night,
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
And so if they're up there doing something, they're obviously doing something shady to begin with. So if you get enough people to call the police are gonna go, hey, they, you know, and they're gonna realize, hey, there's a problem there. And they're gonna hang around that area a lot more.
When I've talked to a lot of the daytime guys
Yeah.
and a few of the nighttime guys, I need to talk to more, but, you know, I'm at the point now, and I know Jerry is, and a lot of the other business guys are scared to speak up because they know they're gonna be a target
A target for what?
for repercussions from getting people in trouble.
But you know, but this is,
I wanna know, cause I know that you guys have all the rules and regulations and you can only do so much.
and that's true.
Okay,
And
but I wanna know what I can do and when.
call the police.
And, well, I wanna do more than that.
Why?
Like we did with the guy up here in Everett. I drove by his house 7 times a day and night, mostly after 10 o'clock at night and before 7 in the morning.
Nothing
And
says you
every time
can't,
he
it's a
was
city street.
outside, I mean, I was calling on him and I got him busted for that stolen truck, I think.
Okay, well, nothing says you can't do that, it's a city street.
But,
But
I mean,
you
like,
guys-
if we know where there's, because I never knew that he was there until actually his buddy, who used to work for me, found out that my shop was there when they stole stuff from my shop when we first moved in there.
Well, you guys gotta look at it like this. This is your neighborhood. You guys live and work here. You guys know what goes on. And I tell people, if you want your neighborhood cleaned up, the first step is taking it back and coming forward. Sitting back and relying on the police to do everything. We don't know everything that goes on. There's no magic crystal ball. Without people calling the police and telling us what's going on, how do we know there's a problem in your neighborhood?
Right, and I know all of that, and what my point is when I talk to the police, and I know that you guys are only allowed to say certain things and talk about certain things,
Well,
because
there's-
you may have an ongoing investigation.
That's true.
The FBI may have come in and said, hey, don't say nothing about this,
That's true.
but if we know, just like up here, you know, the guy that just moved in, we don't know if he's good or bad or indifferent or nothing like that.
Which guy? Guy up
The one
on?
that you were just talking about,
Yep.
up there, whatever. You know, if we know, if we can find out, you know, where these people are, and so then we can go, hey, look, let's keep an eye out here. Let's see if there's any more activity going on.
And there's
'Cause
certain things.
I hate calling just because somebody's driving up to their house or, you know.
But if you see
But-
something at 1 o'clock in the morning, you hear noises like that, to me, that's a red flag that something's not right.
Yeah, but you go
Something's
all over
wrong.
the neighborhood here and there's people out at all hours.
But it doesn't matter, but if it's disturbing you and bothering you, and it's not sitting right with you, that's what we're here for. That's what the taxpayers pay us for. We're here to come and do a service. It's rather to be safe than sorry. Because what if you didn't call and somebody's in there and they got that guy's building, or they're doing it at somebody's house?
And
You
it's
don't
just
know.
like, it's just like up here on Everett. The police went in there and raided him and everything like that, and his basement's full of stolen property.
Which one, the guy up on 11th and Everett?
Yeah. it
And I
was,
can tell you what, I've been up there, that guy, some of that stuff, that guy's basement, was it stolen? It probably was. If we can't prove that it's stolen by a
That's my
serial
point.
number,
That's
we
my
can't,
point.
there's nothing we can do with it
Cause
at
this
all.
guy up behind me, he's stealing stuff that can't be traced. It's,
And
you know,
most people don't keep serial numbers of a lot of their stuff, tools, whether it's, however, they just don't have it. So, my point, just 30 more seconds. When you see something like that, call the police. Waiting 2 or 3 months to speak about it does nobody no good. It does the neighborhood no good, and and all it does is get you worked up. So my advice, anytime you see something like that at late at night, call us every time. That's what we're here for. Call us. Without people calling, how do the police know what the problem is?
right.
Until we get a map a month later going, oh, hey, there's a problem here. By then, it's kind of too late. Okay?
Well, I tell the officer when I see him, but
Call
I
us
just
every
say call
time.
911 for that.
Okay, are there any more questions for Officer Miskey? Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Ms. Coleman?
It's not a question, but Officer Miskey, would you kind of drive by it more often, please, if you can, spare the time, because vandalism is terrible. They have knocked down guttering off the house, and who's, I don't know.
Because I'm up in your guys' neighborhood an awful lot.
Her house is right.
I'm in your guys' neighborhood an awful lot.
But they have torn the guttering down, and it wasn't the wind, no.
Ms. Coleman, let me add just something, maybe this, I don't know if it's happening to you or what, but I can tell you, we have a lot of raccoons. And listen to me. And raccoons have some strange behavior. And they run up houses on gutters. That's how they go up on the roof. The main thing is on the roof. And I've all but done a little study on raccoons because before I tore the steps off on my side, that went up to my step, I thought people were walking up my steps going up in the apartment. And it would be 4 or 5 little raccoons. And when I tore the steps down, and I set a trap out and caught some of the raccoons. But when I tore the steps down, that solved that problem. The raccoons still came around, so then I set another trap and got some more of them. But I'm telling you, raccoons have really strange behavior. One of their main things is to go up gutters.
And they live in attics too.
Yes,
And
they
the
get up
other-
there. They
about
love being up
2 weeks ago, I was
up
driving
high.
down 13th where all the mechanic shops are down, past Oakland. And it was late at night and I'm driving along and something went across the road. And I wonder what that was. It looked like maybe a cat or something. And when I come up there, my lights caught it. It was a raccoon about that big.
Yes.
But I don't
Big,
think,
huge one. And another one came across behind him. It was smaller, but
they don't throw rocks, though. They don't throw rocks.
Well, I was just saying about the gutters.
And throw,
I don't know, raccoon, those
break the
raccoons are pretty.
window
Oh,
with a rock, and I found rocks in the driveway
oh.
next door.
Yeah.
No, that,
Where's your house at?
12th and Everett, on the
12th and
corner.
Everett. Which one?
12th, big white, old house.
Is that 12?
It's on the northwest corner.
Northwest corner? Okay. I'll keep an eye on it. I drive up and down there all the time.
Say it's right down the northwest corner.
Okay.
I have seen him driving through the neighborhood quite a bit
Yes.
myself. And
Thank
we
you.
saw yesterday, we saw him, and then there was another officer came behind him.
Another came behind him too, it was 3 or 4 of them.
That was during the
Always
day, that was
walking in.
yesterday afternoon. Thank you very much, sir.
And the reason why some of the guys in my unit that work with the districts that they have, they're not as busy as what my area is. So them guys get bored and they hear me around up here, so they kind of come this way just to come and play over here too. I mean, it's just, we work together.
Very good. Okay, we'll move right along to our guest speaker, Ms. Rachel Jefferson.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rachel Jefferson with the Historic Northeast Midtown Association.
that is the MVR for this area. So every square mile north of Nebraska Avenue to the river and east of 635 to the river is the Historic Northeastern Town Association service area. And I'm here today because I've had a couple conversations with Mr. Liggins about a campaign that we're starting. And I wanted to see if it's something you guys would be interested in. Mr. Liggins had expressed some interest, but I understand you guys are also doing your own surveys, so you're very much ahead of the game. And so I'm just here to talk to you about it a little bit. I hope I brought enough copies. I may not have, so it may require us sharing a little bit. Because I wasn't expecting quite such a large group, but I'm so glad that all of you are here. So to start off with, I started working for HMA in March, and through that process, I've begun building capacity for the organization. As you may remember, I was here in your January meeting talking about the Affordable Care Act enrollments we're doing and some of our community health work. And recently, I was reviewing some surveys that we did with the different neighborhood associations, and realizing that a lot of the neighborhood associations are expressing some of the same issues as far as having new or transient populations moving through the area, non-native English speakers, and underrepresented minorities, trying to reach out to them, find out what their concerns are, get them involved into the neighborhood association, as well as concerns about code enforcement and not getting questions answered and a whole slew of things. So one of the things that we decided to do is partner with Communities Creating Opportunities, which I'm not sure how familiar you are with that organization. It's an organization actually based out of Missouri, but a very strong grassroots organization, to do this Hello Neighbor Door Knocker campaign. The point of which is to just allow neighborhood associations to reach out into their communities and try to replenish their ranks, as well as let people know what's going on. The reason why that Hello Neighbor campaign, if you flip to the back, it has a mock-up of what that door hanger would look like, has 3 parks on it, is because HMA has also contracted with the DOT agency, which I saw in your minutes that you guys are working with, on something called the Healthy Parks Initiative. And that is an initiative that is funded by the Centers for Disease Control, their 1422 grant.